Hello everyone, today I'm doing another Gentoo install and I'm gonna start off with creating an empty GPT table, and after that I basically will use a sfdisk to create all the partitions. Doing it with a sfdisk could be a lot faster than using fdisk or gparted or something like that, because you can just type out your layout and it's pretty fast, as you can see. And I'm also specifying like proper partition type IDs because I'm not using an fstab file, and I'm going to boot with the help of systemd gpt autogenerate tool, and you will see later. Alright, so first partition gonna be fat32, and the second one gonna be swap, and the last one is xfs. Nothing fancy, just the default layout Gentoo provides us in the Gentoo handbook. And we're gonna mount our root partition into some kind of directory. I mean, it doesn't really matter, we can create any directory, and after that I'm using links to download the stage 3 turbo, and I'm using this mirror because I tested today and it was really fast for me. So yeah, I'm gonna use this one to increase speed. I'm also gonna use this one for Gentoo mirrors environment variable, so it will be used when I merge packages. Okay, as you can see, it maxes out at 10 megabytes per second, and this is pretty good. Alright, next I'm gonna unpack the stage 3 file. I'm basically using default arguments there. You can find them in Gentoo handbook. And after it finished unpacking, I'm gonna proceed with installations. There you can see what I was talking about. I'm specifying Gentoo mirrors, so I can get packages faster. And yep, we're done with unpacking, and we need to copy resolve.conf so we get proper namespaces when we inside root, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to resolve any names. And I'm mounting the uefi partition and checking that I actually put Gentoo mirrors correctly into the make.conf. After that, I'll try to merge Linux firmware, but for me to do that I need to allow the license in package.license file, because Linux firmware isn't really open source. It's a bunch of binary blobs provided by vendors, and by default Gentoo only allows you to install packages with free licenses. There you can see I actually made a mistake. I wrote Gentoo instead of G22. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you'll see. And while I'm trying to install Linux firmware, but it's gonna fail, as we will see in the future. But on the second Tmax window, I'm trying to already start specifying parameters for install kernel. I need to specify draghood so I can be the init ramfs and also systemd boot, because we're gonna use systemd boot for bootloader. And install kernel is a script that basically after you download the kernel, it installs it according to your bootloader, and if you specify draghood option, it's gonna also generate init ramfs for this kernel. Yep, and because I'm going to use systemd boot, I also need a boot flag on systemd. And after all said and done, I can just merge into kernel bin. And I'm using G flag, so I can use the binaries. It will speed up stuff a bit. I'm opening the third Tmux window because while everything merges, I need to start immersion network manager. And I'm disabling some of the flags so it will get merged faster. GTK doc is basically GTK documentation for network manager, not really needed. And PPP and Vext and also modem manager are used for some basically network technology which is either old or you don't really encounter it on like desktop or laptops basically. And I'm checking there that all the flags were set correctly, I didn't make any mistakes. And I'm starting to merge network manager, and we have already 3 merges running at the same time. And right now I'm basically gonna wait for Linux firmware to finish, because of course I could like open a force Tmux window, but that really wouldn't speed things up, because I'm waiting for kernel and network manager, so I know that Linux firmware gonna finish like in a couple of seconds, so just wait for it and do my other commands. Basically we already like installing everything we need, and we just need to set up locales. We need to do systemd setup, and we need to install systemd boot, and also specify root password, of course. Everything going good. And here you can see that Linux firmware is almost done installing. And I'm going to, yeah, that was what I was talking about. I'm using systemd GPT auto generator, so I don't need an fstab file. And to be sure it's empty, I write an empty file, and I also write empty file into cmd line, because I don't want cmd line parameters to be taken from live ISO I'm using, because basically don't need any, and systemd GPT auto generator can understand what is our root drive and everything like that. And there aren't really kernel parameters that we need to specify. So we need to create an empty file, and that basically will tell Drawcut that we don't need anything in our cmd line parameters. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's not Drawcut, maybe it's the install kernel script. Yeah, I think it's install kernel script. So if the cmd line file is empty, because by default there is no such file, and we'll try to get your kernel parameters from proc cmd line, but we don't need that. So we create an empty file, and it finds the file and says, oh, right, it's empty, so no parameters needed. And I'm just like gonna wait for 30 seconds so that Gentoo kernel bin can finish merging. And then we need to, of course, enable the network manager service and restart the computer. The virtual machine in this case, but you know. Yep, I'm enabling network manager, and after that I'm doing a reboot. I'm just checking that the entry is there, and we will be able to boot actually. So it took me like 10 minutes and like I think 15-17 seconds, something like that. And I've made some mistakes, so you probably can do this faster, maybe in 9 minutes, maybe even like 7 minutes. And it's booted, everything is alright, and I'm gonna emerge fast fetch just to show you that basically everything works. So we got our swap file, we got our like locale is set and everything like that. And also internet is working obviously as we just merged fast fetch. So that's basically it, and thank you for watching.